Hi there, I'm Adam Caesar, and usually when you see me on YouTube, I am talking about horror movies and pairing them with horror books and just talking about generally my love for everything horror cinema and horror fiction. But occasionally when you see me, I am talking about my own stuff. I am talking about my day job, which is writing books. And today I just thought I'd get on here and give a general update on what I've been up to, what I'm working on, what's coming out very soon that you can pre-order or order if you're watching this video in a few weeks. Yeah, my most popular books are the Clown in a Cornfield series of teen slasher novels. These are young adult books put out by Harper Teen, but the main thing I hear about them is these aren't YA books. They are just too gruesome, they are just too violent, they are just too crazy. But to me, that's part and parcel with the slasher genre. It is generally a teenage genre. It is generally about teenagers, filled with teenage concerns. The people that go to see these movies are teenagers, and that's what I wanted this book series to be. It reads like classic slasher cinema, just updated. It's not winky and metatextual. It's not like Scream in that sense. But if you like Scream, you'll still probably like it. Kids aren't so much worried about being stabbed while they're babysitting these days. They're worried about like shelter-in-place drills and stuff like that. That's what these books are. And part 3, Clown in the Cornfield, The Church of Friendo. No, these shirts aren't for sale. Yes, this is a bootleg t-shirt I made myself. Clown in the Cornfield 3, The Church of Friendo, comes out as I am recording this in less than a month. Go through the links on this video and please buy or pre-order depending on when you're watching this video. It helps me out so much. Especially pre-orders. If you're watching this kind of the week that I put it up, there's no better and no more helpful time for you to pick up a copy of the hardcover of Clown in the Cornfield. It shows, especially in the weeks leading up to a release, it shows the publisher that there's interest, that they should probably get another print run going if they didn't print up enough of them. It shows stores that there is interest in them, and that they should dedicate, like places like Barnes & Noble and Books A Million and Chapters Indigo if you're in Canada, that they should dedicate more shelf space to them, that they should order in more copies, that they should maybe place them more prominently in the store. And for stuff like, this is a pipe dream, may not happen, but it could. Things like the New York Times bestseller list and the USA Today bestseller list and the Publishers Weekly bestseller list. It's not all about the awards, it's not all about the accolades, it's not all about, being able to put bestseller on the book, but that stuff all helps, and it helps keep me employed, and it helps me sell the next book to a publisher, because you get to show them, hey, I have a proven track record. The publishing industry is very conservative, and they don't want to bet on things that aren't sure things, that don't have sure track records. They don't want to bet on someone they don't think can sell books. So when you pre-order, when you buy a book like Clown in the Cornfield 3, The Church of Friendo, or really any horror book that you're looking forward to, that is a vote of confidence for that author. That author appreciates it so much, and I know I appreciate it so much if you go and you buy that book right now. And if you're a really big fan of these books and you want something a little bit more special, there's going to be a book tour. I'll put the dates up. Where release week, I'm doing 5 cities in 5 days. It's Chicago, Houston, Boston, Brooklyn, and Doylestown, PA, back home here outside of Philly. And I'm going to be very, very tired, but please come out, get a book. I'll sign it for you. Bring your own books from home. I'll sign those too. And support these local indie bookstores that I'm doing this tour with. I'm going to have some crazy in conversation special guests. I'm going to be talking with Lauren Forey, whose new book, Gemma, is really great. Paul Tremblay, whose new book, Horror Movie, was a New York Times bestseller and is probably his best book, in my opinion. It's just incredible. And Clay McCow-Chapman, last but not least, out in Brooklyn. Going to be talking with him, doing a little reading, doing a little performance. If you've seen Clay read before, you know he's a much better performer than me. But if you can't go to any of those dates and you're bummed out that you're going to miss out on a signed copy of these books, I've partnered with a local bookstore to sell signed copy through the mail. They're taking pre-orders for both Clown in the Cornfield and Influencer. I'll put the links in the description to their website. It's called Children's Book World. They are a children's bookstore, so it is a little weird, this black t-shirted gorehound going in there and signing books surrounded by plush toys of Babar and Clifford the Big Red Dog and stuff like that. But it works. They're such a great store. They're so nice to me. They're so nice to my readers. But go to their website. I can personalize it for you. That's US only. Sorry, they just don't ship internationally. If you want international shipping, Doylestown Bookshop, as part of the pre-order and part of the signing I'm doing there, they will accept international orders. Costs a little bit of money. You may want to email them beforehand to check how much it costs before you place an order. And then I want to tell you what else I've got coming up, because I've got a kind of jam-packed release schedule. Writing's weird because you write, you revise, and it seems like everything takes forever in publishing. It seems like everything takes forever to get emails back, for different approvals to happen, for different editors to get back to you, for stories to be accepted, and then all of a sudden, especially around Halloween, something just happens that now I have a bunch of books and stories coming out all in a row. So first is Clown of the Cornfield 3. That's August 20th. Next is... What is next? Next is September. It's this beautiful hardcover, all original. Oh, maybe there might be one reprint in here, but it's mostly original short stories, a themed anthology out from Titan and edited by Johnny Maines, called Bound in Blood. And this is all stories, all horror stories where there's an element of books. They're about books or stories in some way, or authors in some way. And there's an incredible table of contents in this book. Like, it's wild. There's Eric LaRocca, Elizabeth Hand, A.G. Slatter, Charlie Higson, and Adam Caesar. I made the cover. There's like 20-something authors in here, but they thought I was enough of a draw, and they're probably right, because you guys. That they put me on the cover. That's wild. I've always been the and many more. Sometimes I'm just the more. Sometimes I'm not even in the books. But the people that are in this book is absolutely incredible. There's a Ramsey Campbell story in here. There's a Nadia Bulkin story in here. I've recommended Nadia Bulkin's She Said Destroy in a couple of videos on here, so I'm a huge fan. Kim Newman, I'm absolutely an incredible fan of Kim Newman's, not only his fiction, and his tie-in fiction, because I'm a big Warhammer fan, and his film scholarship. I love seeing him show up on different special features talking about Hammer movies and stuff like that. So this is a really cool, really prestigious anthology to be in. My story is called Pending Licensor Approval, and it is about a down-on-his-luck science fiction and fantasy writer who doesn't like horror, but gets a job writing a novelization for an American remake of an extreme Japanese horror film, a movie that he would never in a million years watch, a movie that it doesn't really make much sense why an American studio would make a remake of this, never minding, like, why would an American studio need a novelization of this gory, kind of disgusting movie. So it's a little bit meta, it's a little bit my thoughts on extreme horror and extreme horror fandom, all wrapped up in just trying to tell a good horror story. It's kind of like a little mini Twilight Zone episode, a little one-act play. I like this story so much, and I hope the editor, Johnny Maines, is okay with that. But I've been to a few events where they've asked me to do readings, and I've read Pending Licensor Approval, and it's done really well. So if you've been to those readings, you've heard the story. But you should still buy the book. It's Bound in Blood, comes out in September. Next, another novel, October 1st, Influencer. This isn't the final cover. I'll put up the final cover right now. This is red. Final cover is kind of pink-purple. We got a cover blurb here from Stephen Graham Jones, Dr. Jones, one of the greatest to ever do it. This is the only book for years to worm its way into my dreams and make me finish the book faster, just so I can maybe sleep again. Hell yeah. So this is, as the blurb implies, not for the faint of heart. Still technically a teen book, but a teen book that takes its influences from stuff like Funny Games and The Strangers and American Psycho. It is a dual split narrative about a young serial killer who moves to a new town and the one girl at school who kind of catching on to his BS. And it's like a cat and mouse game. It switches back and forth between their perspectives. You might have read this as an audiobook. It was actually an Audible original for a little while. We sold it to Audible. We sold it to Amazon. And they had done an incredible job. The audiobook's still up. It's free to listen to if you're an Audible subscriber. It's got Christopher Briney from Mean Girls and The Summer I Turned Pretty, and Isabella Merced from the new Alien movie, Alien Romulus. She's Hawk Girl in the new Superman movie. So these two kind of big young stars read Influencer and did a great job with the audiobook. Everyone was really supportive and liked the audiobook, but the number one comment I heard is, when is there going to be a paperback? So that exclusivity period is over. Union Square and Company is putting it out in October 1st. And if you've already read the audiobook and you're like, I don't want to read the same thing over again, there's a couple little bonuses in here. There's a couple things that would have been really hard to do in the audio format that were in the original manuscript that I put back in. It's kind of the director's cut edition a little bit. So this is the revised, expanded version of Influencer, and what I consider to be kind of the definitive version of Influencer. But if you're an Audible person and you're an audiobook person and you're feeling ripped off, don't worry. It's like just little tiny things that was like you couldn't really do in audio. Just a couple chapters worth of stuff. So you're not missing out too bad. But if you're a double dipper, please double dip. And last but not least, also in October, I'm in an anthology called Fear of Clowns, a themed anthology themed around, you guessed it, clowns. If you're a Clown of the Cornfield fan, or if you're a clown horror purist, you're probably going to get this anthology. It's got an unbelievable table of contents. I'll put the picture up here because I don't actually have a physical thing to hold up for that. It's ridiculous how many people are in this book. It's like a who's who of the horror world right now. So I'm very fortunate to have a story in that. And my story's, I'm really, really proud of my story. It's very sick. It's very weird. I think people are either going to love it or they're going to be generally kind of upset by it and think I'm awful. But you know, it's fiction. We're making art here. So yeah, that's what's new with me. That's all the news that's fit to print. As I said, the main reason I'm recording this video is to try to get you to take a chance. And if you haven't read the Clown of Cornfield books at all, if you just follow me because of the talking about movies and talking about book stuff that I do, if you like what I do there, you're probably going to like the books. You're probably going to enjoy the Clown of the Cornfield books. You don't have to get them in the nice hardcovers. There are paperback versions of them that are really cheap. You can find those anywhere. But I think you'll really enjoy them, and I hope you give Clown of the Cornfield 3, The Church of Friendo, a chance, and I hope you pre-order it. I hope you order it. It really helps me out. All right, I think that's it. I think I've rambled enough. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your time. And I hope you enjoy the books, and I'll talk to you about horror movies very soon.